What's up, y'all? Cameron here. What I'm about to make is a wine glass holder for wine glasses that actually fits over the bottle. So the bottle in itself becomes the carrying tray for the wine glasses. I'll show you. I'm gonna make that by first mixing epoxy, harden it with resin. Then we'll add colors and embellishments. Let's mix first. Those of you who are into doing epoxy work, if you ever notice that when you're mixing the two epoxies, a good way to tell if you look closely, there's little lines. See those lines, and when those lines go away, that's an indication that you have a pretty thorough mix and you're good to go. But if you have an epoxy or in which you can't see those lines, or if your eyes are not good enough to see those lines, a good standard measurement in time for mixing would be 2 to 3 minutes. I usually mix about a minute without colors and dyes, and then after I add my dyes and colors, I mix another minute. In the next 2 weeks or so, I'm going to actually be doing a workshop, a free workshop on how to create epoxy art, how to create epoxy fine art, how to create epoxy keychains, epoxy candle stands, epoxy wine glass holders, how to do kitchen and bathroom countertops, how to do epoxy floors. I'm going to be going over many things, epoxy, how to create epoxy jewelry. And for those of you who may wish to some kind of way start a side hustle selling your unique works of art, this could be an opportunity for you to make a side hustle, or perhaps to even make a full-time hustle, because epoxy is really beginning to grow. You know, before the pandemic, it wasn't as mainstream as it is now. Epoxy in the last 2 to 3 years has become very mainstream. And when something comes into the mainstream, that means a lot of people are starting to get involved in it. This is a prime opportunity for you to start your own epoxy business, because it's a growing industry, and it can be used in many, many ways. You can even come up with your own unique ideal on how to use epoxy and create something unique, create a totally unique brand for yourself. But I'm going to be giving a free workshop in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to be sending reminders out via Facebook, via social media platforms. So stay tuned for the exact date and time of those workshops. And join me if you can. Now we have the epoxies mixed. No colors added yet. I'm going to be using four different colors. I'm using a gold, a black, a burgundy, and some embellishments. So in those workshop, I'll be explaining how to mix the epoxy. I'll be explaining the basics before we go into the creating of the art. How much powder to add, how much epoxy to add, how long you have to work before the epoxy becomes hard, and things of that nature. Just the basics to get yourself started. For you ladies who use what they call it, the mascara, is it? I don't know. But the thing that you push over the eyelid, what's the name of that? Right here? That's what the micropowder is made out of. So in some cases, I've actually been able to use, ladies, when I want to save money, instead of buying it through the epoxy stores, I actually went to the dollar store and just got me a few micropowders that way. And we'll be going over those money-saving tips as well.
In your heart and mind, never forget you set walk-ins, and when you're walking, you know just one black on black. Remember that.
how to keep the bubbles down, because epoxy, they do bubble, especially depending on what brand you have. It's some brands bubble more than others, but like I said, in that workshop, we'll be covering those basics on how to get rid of bubbles, what type of epoxy to buy that would be less bubbly, things of that nature. I'll be going over the things that I had to learn the hard way from. I had to learn through trial and error. But the good thing about workshops is when you go to a workshop, you get to get that knowledge from an individual, someone who's already went through the errors, so therefore it can save you time and money by skipping over those errors. So I'm going to be sharing those errors, the things to do and those things not to do in that particular workshop. Now we have our 4 colors here. Bam. We have this little thing. This is what is known as the embellish additives, or little trinkets. They get hearts or, different little trinkets of solid objects. We have our black, we have our rose red, and we have our gold.
Now, party people in the house, sing it. Party people in the house, listen up. How the man with the plan and the man rips it up. Based on how we take good looking Jake. Swing a hot dog, doc, no butt, F, love for that geek. Fish and chips with the hippie hips. Before the tune ends, give me some lips. Sanity Crystal, my niece, and Lady Kazam, my homegirl Pace. And leave the guns and have fun. Out. And oh yeah, sing it. Coming back.
What's up, y'all? Cameron here from ECC, Epoxy Crafty Creations. It's been about 13 hours, and I've unmolded the wine butler, the 6-glass wine butler. I've unmolded it, and we can see now how it came out. I still have to do a little touching up because I'm doing a two-sided figure, so it's kind of tough because when you finish one side, sometimes the epoxy drips onto the other side. You have to finish this side, and then it drips onto the side that you just completed. This is the overall look of it before the touch-up. The overall look of it is this. I'm going to come around so you can get a good look at that. That's the overall touch-up. That's one side of the butler. Now the other side, remember we had the rose red and the purple. That's the other side. Kind of looks like a galaxy look. There we have it. That's what we have. We have one side and we have the both sides. Remember, this is the 6-glass wine butler. The 6-glass wine butler. And the way that it's used is you place it here and you put 6 glass, and it allows you to carry 6 glasses hassle-free. So this is like the waiters and the waitress's dream. The cocktail hostess dream. But remember to like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Because here on the first week of June, I'm going to be giving a free workshop on everything epoxy. On how to make these wine butlers, on how to make coasters, on how to make trays, on how to even epoxy table and furniture, and perhaps we may even go into flooring and jewelry. I mean, the list is only limited by your imagination, but we're going to be covering many things epoxy. I'm going to show you how the basics of epoxy, how to mix the epoxy, how to mix the colors and the glitters, and where to get molds from, and how to make molds. And I'm just going to hook you up. You may want to start a side hustle for yourself in selling epoxy apparel, selling epoxy creations, because it's a fast-growing industry now. I mean, epoxy has become mainstream. I can remember just a few years ago, a couple of years ago, I couldn't find epoxy in stores. I actually had to order epoxy online. Just the other day, I seen epoxy in Walmart. Not only did I see epoxy in Walmart, but I seen molds for epoxy in Walmart. I see it at Home Depot now. I see it at Lowe's. I've even seen it in Walgreens. So the industry has now become mainstream, and a lot of people are going to know about it, and you're pretty artsy, or just a little bit of artsy. This seminar will help you. It will give you the foundation to do your own thing. If you don't want to make money with it, you don't want to do it as a side hustle, you can do it this can be your gift-giving operation. But you can give, imagine a Christmas gift. If someone receives a Christmas gift, people like receiving gifts that are not bought. When you hand make it, handmade is like heart made. So people like to receive that. And this can be given for any holiday. This can be given for a birthday. This can be given for a baby shower. This can be given for a Christmas. This can be given for Mother's Day, and the list goes on, because you can kind of customize whatever you're making to associate with that holiday. For instance, I'm gonna make about a dozen of these around New Year's. It's gonna say Happy New Year's. And down here it's going to say 2023, which allows me to give those away or sell those to customers, or give those away to family and friends. But that's just one way that you can customize whatever you're making around that particular holiday. And you can customize it to that particular person by having their name in here. We're going to go over how to do things like that in this workshop. So please remember to like and subscribe. I'm Cameron from Epoxy Crafty Creations.
1990, Chubb Rock jumps upon the scene with the lean and a pocket full of green. The green doesn't symbolize I made it on the top, but RoboCop last year was a shock.